What is going on, everybody? It is Will Kelly here, and in today's video, what we are going to be deep diving is if you are on the fence between whether you should start your own business or keep working a job or do both somehow, some way, and manage that. We are going to be deep diving the pros and the cons of each route and figure out what is the best route and option for you as an individual. Now, if you like this video and you like this content and you find this helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, because we are going to bring you even more great content to help you as an individual grow your business. All right, real quick, guys, before I jump in this, I don't want to take too much more of your guys' time, but why do I have the credibility to explain and talk on this stuff? So my wife and I, we own a lawn care business in Aubrey, Texas. It's called Military Lawn Cuts and Landscaping. And last year we did $590,000. We hire employees, we do sales and marketing, we do all that stuff. It's a small business. We're looking at opening up a second location here in the near future. So we have specific hands-on experience and training for exactly what we are talking about today. I've also been a W-2 employee for a very long time. I served in the Army for almost 6 years as a paratrooper, 25 Bravo IT specialist, and I got out and also worked an IT job at a bus company called Midwest Transit in Kankakee, Illinois. So I have been on both sides of the spectrum, and I have the perspective of both routes. So my goal today is to bring you the best value within that parameter. Let's do it. Alrighty, guys, so let's jump right on into this. Now, I didn't take a lot of time putting this together, but I think these are the key bullet points of the pros and cons between at a job and in the business. So let's deep dive this stuff. So the first thing that we're going to look at here is staying at your current job. So maybe you're working a W-2 job currently and you're thinking about opening up another business. What are the pros of having a job? Well, if you compare it to building a business, it is a lot less work, okay? Generally speaking, you may go to work 8 to 4, 9 to 5, and get your 8 hours of work in Monday through Friday, and then you're off on the weekends. And in entrepreneurship and business ownership, that is not at all like the hours that we work. Okay, so a lot of times it is a lot less work. Now, especially in the beginning, like that is when you have to grind and hustle and absolutely put those extra hours in, so that way you can build up, that business and kind of get it off the ground. So I would say definitely a lot less work. The other pro about staying at your job is you get a regular paycheck. So, every week or maybe bi-weekly you get paid, and the check always comes in, whether you work, don't work, take your vacation, PTO time, whatever that may be. But the paycheck is always going to come in as long as you have a job there. So a lot of times people think that it is technically more secure than starting a business, but I would argue against that, and that's why if you look, I actually have not as much security on the cons. So I'll talk about that when we get there. But so let's keep moving forward here. So you have immediate access to a work community. Now, what does that mean? That means, like, generally speaking, if you're going to start a business, a lot of times it's just you, right? So you don't have a support group, a team around you that you can kind of talk to and things like that. When you go and work at a company or even a small business, they already have, generally speaking, a culture, a team, there's other people there, and you get immediate access to a work community. So that's always a good thing. Now, the cons. So what are the not so good things about being a W-2 employee? Well, for me, it's not as much security. Now, when you look at a recession in 07, 08, and when the economy goes down, what do a lot of these companies do? They do layoffs. They cut people's hours. They fire people. Like, a lot of the times there's people that have these jobs that think they're secure, and when the economy takes a turn or a shift, they get laid off. And when you're a business owner, you're the last person to be laid off, because you're going to fire or lay off everybody else before it even gets to you. So I would say that there's actually not as much security in a W-2 job. Moving forward here, so there is a lot less control and there is a lot less freedom of choice when you're a W-2 employee. You go to work, you follow their direction, you follow their operations, you follow their standard operating procedures and their systems, and you just kind of jump in line and start doing what you're told to do, right? There's no, hey, let me put some thought process into this. How do we make this better? I mean, not a lot of employees think that way per se, because again, they've already figured out, the company and the business has already figured out the best way to do a lot of the things, and there's not as much innovation going on within that scope of maybe a frontline worker or, you know, team leader, supervisor type role, right? Obviously that changes when you get into upper level management, higher level management, C levels, and you know, you do have a say a lot more so than when you're a frontline or even just 1 or 2 levels up above that. So the other big thing is you don't own anything. When you are a W-2 employee, you don't own anything except your paycheck. And if you get hurt, or you break a leg, or you get sick, or something happens that you can't go to work, guess what happens? Your paycheck stops. You don't own anything. If you are the variable in the situation, if you don't go to work, you don't get paid, okay? On the business side, once you get it up and running to where it can't operate without you, that's a whole different story, okay? Now, taxes come out before you even see them as a W-2 employee. I don't like this because a lot of people like this because it's a lazy mentality. It's, oh, I don't want to have to worry about it. I don't want to have to deal with it. Just take it out and just give me what I want, or you know, give me whatever I'm due, right? But on the business owner side, there's a whole different mindset of tax planning that you can keep a lot of that money, because it's not a lazy way of thinking, basically. And sorry if I hurt anybody with that, but it's the truth. And you know, so they basically take taxes out of your paycheck first, and you don't see it. So I think that's a con. That's a negative thing, because I want to, as a business owner, figure out a way to keep more of that money, or to invest it in other areas so I can create more jobs for people and maybe create more housing for people, okay? So that is the pros and cons of a job. Take it with a grain of salt. That is my opinion. These may or may not be factual. Well, a lot of them may be factual, but I could be wrong in all of this. So just take this stuff with a grain of salt, right? All right, moving forward. So building a business. Obviously, I am now on this side of the spectrum. And so the absolute most beneficial thing of owning a business or building your own business is you have ownership now. You own an asset that you can hand off to your kids and their kids, and you are not just a number like when you're working on the employee side. Because on the employee side, if you get hurt, like, the business is just going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to have to find your replacement. I'm going to plug somebody back into the system, and it's going to keep moving forward with or without you. And that's the truth, and it hurts a little bit, but that's just what it is. So on the business side, you own it. You own that asset, and the key to building wealth is ownership. You need to own businesses. You need to own real estate. You need to own stocks. You need to own, you know, whatever it is ownership. That is what builds to long-term wealth, okay? So that's a really big variable there in this equation. All right, so number 2, you are in control of everything. The reason I like this is because when everything is not going well, I am in control. You are in control as a business owner, that you can change things and improve things. When you're a W-2 employee, you have no control. It's just the reality of it, right? So number 3, there is way better tax strategy incentives on the business side. Incredible, okay? So the IRS, they basically have hundreds and hundreds of pages of tax documents and incentives that they will literally give you credits or tax breaks if you follow their direction, okay? A lot of people are like, oh, well, that's a loophole, right? You can't look at it that way because the government understands that they can't do a lot of these things, like provide great jobs, provide housing for people and things like that. And there's people like you and I who want to own their own business one day, that want to create jobs, make an impact on people's lives, that can do it a lot better than the IRS can. So what do? They give you an incentive to own your own business, to create housing for people. And if you follow that, you will get a lot of tax breaks, which i.e. puts more money into your pocket. Okay? All right, so moving forward here, number 4, owning a business teaches you invaluable real life skills like selling and dealing with people and hiring people, that once you understand these basic skills, you can do anything. You can go build any kind of business, and it teaches you how to talk to people, how to communicate with people, how to sell to people, how to comfort people, how to train people, dealing with people. That is the value behind owning a business, okay? Amazing, powerful tool, amazing, powerful life skills that you're going to learn by owning your own business. All right, the last 2, if you were to ask me what is my favorite part about being a business owner, I would tell you that it is the fact that I have direct influence and impact and the ability to impact people's lives for a positive and greater good, okay? That is the absolute hands down. When I see somebody come into our company or business in their individual state and where they're at, whatever that totem pole looks like, and I can help lift them up and train them and educate them and just make them better in all aspects of life, physically, spiritually, emotionally, relationally, like that is invaluable as a business owner, to be like, wow, I helped this individual, because you as their boss of or owner of the business, you have an incredible impact on their lives. You know, when they come in and they're not feeling that great and they just had an argument with their spouse or whatever, and you lift them up and you speak positive words and influence into their life, it's incredible that you have the ability to do that. The other awesome thing about being a business owner is I'm able to help other business owners who aren't as far down the path as I. So there are a few people in the local community that I help. They are literally in the same service area as us in lawn care, and I pour into them. Why? Somebody helped me when I was younger. When I was first starting my business, somebody reached out their hand and helped me when they didn't have to. I'm doing the same. I'm paying it forward, and I just want to, our mission is we're all in to grow, serve, give, and be a blessing. And that is our whole goal behind this business, is to help other people succeed. That is the most fulfilling thing about being a business owner. It's amazing, and I love it. Okay, now there are some cons with owning a business. Okay, it is hard work. Like literally, step 1 to owning your own business is hard work. Like you need to be able to put in the work and not complain or get bent out of shape about like how many hours you're putting in, because nobody cares. And like you're gonna fail time and time again, but the people that continue to move forward and learn from it and get better are the ones that are gonna succeed. So hard work is like literally the foundation of owning a business. Like that's basic 101. No matter what it is, like you have to have the ability to put in some hard work. many hours. There's many times out of the year that we're working 12 to 14 hours a day during our spring rush, and we are just hustling and bustling, and it gets crazy. And we do that 5-6 days a week, like 12 14-hour days for about 3 months, and that's just what it takes to kind of get things going. Right now, it's not always like that. I don't do that 12 months out of the year, but there are times where you, especially when you first start your business and you're just trying to get it off the ground, you're going to have to put that work in. Now, the other con about building a business is the stress that comes along with it. Okay, so there are different levels of stress that you're going to experience depending on what business you start. And for us, we obviously do lawn care, so it's very blue collar, labor intensive, out in the field, mowing lawns, trimming hedges, all that stuff, right? So at first, when we first started the business, there was that level of physical stress, right? You know, I'm out there doing 20 lawns a day, 15 to 20 lawns a day with a helper, and 5-6 days a week for months. And the physical toll and stress will come. And so there are different levels of stress as you start to grow the business. But now that I'm more in a managerial role as a general manager at our location, and I'm not out in the field as much, that stress shifts to, well, now I'm providing for my employees and their families to put food on the table. It's my responsibility to get them the hours. Anytime that we go on vacation, like that weight is on my shoulders to make sure that things continue to run smoothly, whether I'm there or not. So there is a lot of stress physically, mentally, emotionally that you carry as a business owner, because again, it's your asset. You own it. The team that is underneath you and the people that work for you are your responsibility. So hopefully this helps, guys. If this was helpful, please, these videos take a lot of time to edit and put together. Smash the like button, subscribe, leave a comment below. If you are looking at wanting to start your own business, I would love to hear what kind of business that you want to start. And hopefully we can provide value to you somehow, some way. Hopefully this video brought value to you. That is the whole goal of this channel. So if you guys like what you saw, again, my name is Will Kelly, and we will see you guys next time.